Hey, Jack, can you talk to Alice? I think, she should get married considering her age.
Huh? Why?
Why don't you understand? How old do you think Alice is? She's already in her late 20s. She's 28.
Alice is independent and responsible. I have nothing more to say. She grew up to be a wonderful woman. Let her do whatever she wants.
We have to do something before she reaches 30. Let me tell you, we women shine the most in our 20s. You're a guy. You don't know anything, do you?
If men are to judge, I think we know better.
Stop nitpicking.
If Alice doesn't want to get married, we shouldn't force her to. She'll find the right one soon, and we shouldn't meddle in her business.
Don't you want a grandchild, honey?
I do, but I also don't want to pressure her or anything. Even if you pressure her to get married, she's the one to make the final decision.
Alice's childhood friend already gave birth to her second child.
Good for her.
Her classmates and childhood friends are all getting married and giving birth. Alice should be doing the same.
It's her choice. If you annoy her like this, she'll feel more stressed and won't want to get married.
I knew there would be no use talking to you.
Then why did you talk to me about it in the first place?
I'll be in charge. I'm gonna make her get married. My friend actually told me about a nice gentleman who was finding a partner. She said he might be the one for Alice. Alice doesn't have a boyfriend now, does she? I'll arrange a date so that they can meet each other.
Wait a minute. Does Alice know about this?
Not yet, but I've already decided to make her go on a date. I can't let my friend down.
Aren't you being a bit selfish? Why do you want her to get married all of a sudden?
I've always been worried about her. I was always planning to get her married as soon as possible.
Really? You weren't this eager to make her get married?
Doesn't matter. I'm gonna arrange a date for her. Be prepared to meet her future husband, Jack.
Wait, we should ask Alice about this first. Who's Alice meeting anyways? Do I know him?
No. My friend who I hang out often with told me about this gentleman, so you don't know him. He's 45, but he looks pretty young. And he has his own company. Isn't it wonderful?
Huh. 45 years old.
Yes. Is there anything wrong?
He's about the same age as us. He's far too old for Alice. At least find her a better partner who's around the same age as her.
Why? I bet she prefers older men. She has a calm and gentle personality. She won't get along with young guys. He's the best match.
Alice is a fan of young male idols, though.
That's a different story. She'll love him, don't worry.
Elise, you have to ask Alice before you decide everything on our own.
Unless she agrees, I won't be meeting this guy. Oh, but I already told my friend that Alice would be meeting him.
What are you doing?
Jack, you have to understand, if I don't do anything, Alice would stay single for the rest of her life. Just believe me, okay? Her life is in my hands. Jack, are you there? Why aren't you replying?
I'm still working, Elise. I'll call you back later.
It's urgent. Alice is not answering my calls.
I bet she's still working too.
She hasn't replied since yesterday. I'm getting worried. Do you think she's okay?
Yeah, I think she's perfectly fine. She called me this morning.
Uh-huh. Why hasn't she replied to me yet?
I guess she's angry at you. You took her to meet this random guy.
I need her to reply if she's gonna date him or not. He's waiting for her to make the decision.
I thought she said she didn't want to marry him. She just met him to make you happy, Elise. I think you should thank her for coming to the date.
I believe that this marriage is the best for her. He might be a little older than her, but they'll make a great couple. He was a nice gentleman, don't you think?
I don't know. To be honest, it creeped me out to imagine him being my son-in-law. He's over 40, but he treated Alice like she was as old as him. He said it was easier to talk to older women. That's not something he should say to her daughter who's in her 20s.
I think he meant to praise her.
If so, he's pretty rude and lacks consideration. Elise, Alice doesn't want to get married. You have to respect her choice. Tell him honestly that he wasn't the right one for Alice, okay?
It's best for Alice to marry someone older than her.
That's your opinion. It's up to Alice. You have to respect her. Stop doing whatever you want. She's a grown adult and capable of choosing for herself.
I'm just worried. I think it's best for her to marry someone rich. I don't want her to get married with a normal employee like you. I'm her mother, and I love her, and I don't want her to face any hardships.
Does that mean you faced a lot of hardships marrying a normal employee like me?
No, it's not like that. Can you tell Alice to reply to me as soon as possible?
I don't think I'll be any help.
Can you be a little more helpful?
You're acting weird recently.
How?
You suddenly started pressuring Alice to get married, and you also visited her room without telling her. You're being weirdly obsessive these days.
Really? Isn't it normal for a mother to worry about her child?
You're just worrying too much, in my opinion.
I'm worried about my daughter who's about to turn 30 but still hasn't found a good partner. All mothers would be worried in my situation, unlike you, who's uninterested in his daughter.
I'm considerate of her in my own ways. She works for a decent company and makes her own living. I think she's doing perfectly fine, and I'm proud of her. I told you the same thing last time.
You still have a job left to do as her father, Jack. You have to look after your daughter until she gets married. Make sure to give her some advice about getting married, okay? She won't be able to find a better husband than the gentleman she met the other day. Jack, where are you? I thought it was your day off today.
I'm out to get my transcripts.
What transcripts? Like, transcripts of the family register?
Yep. Is there anything wrong?
Yeah, can you call Alice? I need you to call her right now. I can't believe she did it without telling us.
Did what?
She moved out of her apartment. Our daughter moved into a different apartment without telling us. You have to tell her that this is unacceptable. I arranged her a date with her future husband this week. I can't believe she just disappeared without telling me.
Oh, about that. I told her to move. Also, I won't be living with you anymore.
Huh? You told her to move? What do you mean?
You heard me right. Both me and Alice are breaking relations with you. I'm here to get my transcripts so that I can fill in the official documents asking for a divorce.
What are you saying?
Let's get divorced, Elise.
Why do you want a divorce? Your daughter is about to get married.
It's all your fault. Alice moved out, and we're getting divorced because of you.
My fault?
We know everything, Elise. You wanted Alice to marry a rich old man for money, right?
Money was not the only reason. She'll live a happier life if she marries a rich man.
Elise, be honest with me. You're in debt.
What? What are you talking about?
Be serious with me. We know everything you've been hiding from us. Alice called me a few weeks ago. She said she was giving you money for the past few months. She called because she was worried that my job wasn't going well.
Huh?
I never expected you to ask Alice for help, telling her that we were struggling because my pay was reduced. I can't believe you've been asking Alice to give you $1,000 a month for financial support.
You're misunderstanding, Jack. I wanted to find the best possible partner for Alice, so I had to spend money to meet new people and maintain good relationships with them. You know, Alice has a pretty high salary.
Stop lying to me. Your reasons are ridiculous. I know you have a lover. You've been seeing him for more than 5 years, if I'm not wrong.
What are you saying?
You also withdrew some money from our savings for him. You got scared that I might find out, so you started borrowing money. But you still needed money, so you decided to ask your own daughter for help. You wanted her to get married with a rich guy so that he could support you financially.
No, he's not my lover. He's an investor who I'm close to. He's just teaching me stuff.
Stop lying, Elise. We have proof that you were having an affair with him.
What, proof?
I hired a detective to find out the truth. I'm divorcing you. Leave our house as soon as possible.
All right. I honestly don't care. He asked me if I wanted to get together with him. I always wanted to dump a broke employee like you. Bring me the divorce papers. I'll sign it for you.
No more excuses, Elise?
There's no point of making excuses. You two decided to leave me. I can't think of you as my family anymore. I don't need you in my life. I'm better off without you, Jack.
Elise, make sure you move out of the house by the end of the month. The new owner will move in soon.
Hey, Jack, I wanted to discuss about our relationship.
Our? You mean the relationship between you and your lover?
No, about me and you.
Me? We're already divorced.
But we were married for 30 years. We had our ups and downs. But we made a pretty good couple, don't you think?
I don't know. I always thought so, but I don't know now. You were cheating on me all this time.
I wasn't cheating, to be exact. I was never serious about him.
What? You said you always wanted to dump a broke employee like me. Aren't you getting together with him?
I never meant to say that. I lost my temper. I wasn't being serious.
Oh, I see.
Jack, I never wanted to get a divorce. I want to get back together with you. I want to go back to the old times when we loved each other.
Elise.
Jack, I'm so sorry. I know I hurt you a lot. But I promise never to betray you again. You will be the only one I love.
Are you stupid? Don't make me laugh.
Huh?
You want to get back together because he dumped you, right? I'm genuinely shocked. You'd been cheating on me for so many years and even asked your daughter for money. How can you beg for forgiveness after everything you did?
Why do you know that I broke up with him?
Oh, don't you remember? I hired a detective. Your lover seemed to have several girlfriends. And he lied to all of them like he did to you so that they'll give him money. He sometimes lied, saying that his company went bankrupt. To sum it up, he's a fraud.
Why? Why didn't you tell me this when we got divorced?
Why should I tell you?
I was tricked and used for his advantage. You could have helped me out. You're a jerk. You knew that he'll dump me.
What if I knew?
You knew your wife was being tricked, but you never told her. How can you do this to me?
How can you do this to me? You were the one having an affair, cheating on me for so many years. I don't care if you were being tricked or not. And if you even forced your daughter to pay for your money, she could have saved all the money she paid you for her future. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve to be Alice's mother.
I tried to break up with him several times, but he always stopped me. Then he asked me to help him with his investments. I just couldn't dump him after I agreed to help.
Stop making excuses. I don't want to hear them. You not only were tricked by your lover, but also betrayed your family and took away your daughter's money, which makes you a horrible wife.
I'm so sorry. I want to say sorry to Alice for everything I did. Let me apologize to you too, Jack.
Stop it. You're a stranger now.
Forgive me. I was wrong. Give me one last chance. Please, believe me.
I don't think it's worth it. We can't think of you as our family anymore. You're free to do whatever you want now. My ex-wife had to pay for compensation money and the money she took away from her daughter, as well as the money she withdrew from our savings. After all the payment, she lost everything. She's still in debt, so she'll have to pay them back somehow. She still has a few $1,000,000 to pay back, and I'm guessing she might end up bankrupt. Well, it's not our problem anymore. She's a stranger now. Even if she begged for help, we'll never help her. Both me and Alice moved into somewhere new where my ex-wife is unaware of. I'm enjoying and relaxing life after my divorce. I've blocked her from my contacts, and my lawyer is in charge of communicating with her. So I'm living a very stress-free life right now. I plan to support my daughter who's following her dreams and continue to be a good father I always try to be. I will always be there for whenever she needs me.
Well, bro, I'm sorry to say it. I really never thought this day would finally come, but here we are. We've had a good run, but I'm afraid this is goodbye forever. I never want to hear from you again.
Wait, what? I know we don't text that often, but what is this all about?
I mean that I got married, and I'm cutting you out of my life, Ricardo.
Pablo, is everything okay?
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
You mean that ever since you graduated from med school and started working as a doctor, you've been acting different. It just feels like you keep trying to go from one goal to another ever since then.
What does that even mean?
I mean, like just now, for example. We live in the same house and you just dropped the news on your big brother that you got married? I don't get it. I feel like there are things that you aren't telling me. Other than the obvious big things.
Just why should I have to tell you every little detail about my life, huh? You know what your problem is? You dropped out of high school just so that you could start working early. The fact is that there are so many things that you don't know, and I don't have time to teach them to you.
If you're upset with me, that's fine, but I just want you to tell me what's going on with you. Please, can we just talk?
Fine, you want an explanation? Here's what's going on. I'm now married to the daughter of the director of the hospital that I'm working at.
Wow, well that's pretty impressive. I mean, doesn't that guy come from a long line of doctors?
You mean you know about my hospital director?
I mean, that family has basically ran that hospital for as long as I can remember. They're a pretty famous bunch.
Well, good. Then this will make it easier to explain. Yes, I am married to the daughter of that famous doctor, and that basically means that I'm guaranteed to be the next director.
Are you sure about that? I thought that you were still doing some kind of residency or something, right?
And so what if I am?
Look, I really don't know about how all this medical stuff works, but I would just be careful about going around half-cocked declaring yourself the next hospital director.
So basically, you're jealous? Is that what's going on? You have no idea how things work in my field.
I really don't, but I'm just trying to give you some brotherly advice.
How about you just stick to the things you do know about? Got it? I'm the only one of us who's a doctor. And the fact of the matter is so many people from my graduating class came from wealthy families. But this girl, she is my ticket to glory. But first, I need to cut you off so nothing is holding me back.
Can you even prove yourself as a doctor among a whole family of doctors?
Well, not everyone is a doctor. My new wife is just a receptionist, but even she went to college.
And is that all that matters to you? What the last level of education someone got was?
Just can it already, would you? Look, I need you to move out of the house.
And just why would I do something like that?
Because my wife wants to move into our place, since it's closer to the hospital than where she is right now. But I can't let her know the embarrassing truth.
And just what would this embarrassing truth be, I wonder?
Well, it's the fact that I have some sweaty, smelly, blue-collar older brother, of course. If she knew the type of people that I came from, there's no way she would ever let me into her world of wealth and power. I know that your job barely even pays you, but surely you can afford some kind of crappy little apartment for yourself, right?
You know, I've been working a long time. Maybe you forgot him, but I was the one who paid for you to go to medical school. I think that I can afford an apartment for myself.
Well, good. Then get out already. I told you to pack up your bags and leave, and I meant it.
Are you sure about this? You really want me to go? This is your last chance to change your mind if you're not sure.
Of course I do. If you stay any longer, it'll just be that harder to air your stink out of the house.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this, I guess I'll go then.
And don't ever come back, you bottom feeder.
Hey there, Kathy. I'm really sorry to be telling you all of this so late, but I moved out of my house.
Wait, what? What happened?
Well, last night I slept in a motel, but I'm gonna be moving my stuff into a new apartment where I'll live from now on.
Ricardo, tell me what happened. Is everything okay? I thought that you were worried about your sick mom, and that's why you stayed in your old house for so long. I mean, for all these years, ever since your dad died. You dropped out of high school and have been working to support your whole family. How did all of this happen?
I know it's a lot to take in, but I talked to my mom and have moved out for now. I think once things settle down, I'll try and take her with me too.
But can't you just tell me what happened?
Well, to make a long story short, my brother wants to cut me out of his life and pretend that I don't exist so that he can try to curry favor with his new wife's family, who are a bunch of rich, famous doctors, and he thinks that I'll ruin his chances of that. Yeah, I think I summed it up pretty nicely, actually.
Wait, what? What kind of crazy soap opera is your life ripped out of? That's crazy! Your brother married into a bunch of doctors?
That's right. In fact, he actually married your cousin, Erin.
Wait a second. I only heard that Aaron got married a couple nights ago. But I had no idea that it was to your little brother.
So it sounds like even your side of the family hasn't heard much about any of this, huh?
Maybe they were planning to make the big announcement at our family reunion next month? But wait! I thought that Aaron was dating some guy who worked at the pharmaceutical company she works for.
Oh, really? I'd have no idea.
Well, I remember that about 2 months ago, she brought a guy home and said that he was her boyfriend. They were even already talking about getting married.
Well, something must be going on then.
I mean, I wasn't actually there to meet him, but I remember she told me that he was a coworker, and your brother is a doctor. I guess that she must have been running around on someone.
And it must have been this coworker guy, since Pablo and her seem to be married.
I don't know. I still feel like something is off here.
Well, I can certainly see Pablo doing something sneaky like this, but what about Erin?
Oh, I don't know. Erin has always seemed like a rather serious and reasonable girl. But changing who she was going to marry and then getting married so quickly just doesn't seem like her.
Well then, how did she and my brother end up getting married? If your cousin really is the type of person that you think she is, then I can't see why she would get with someone like my brother.
You know, now that you say that, I haven't actually been able to get a hold of Erin for the past month or so. I even sent her a message congratulating her on her wedding, but she hasn't even opened it.
Something is for sure going on then.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think I'm going to try and get to the bottom of it.
Well, good luck and be safe. If you need any help or anything like that, just let me know.
Of course! Thanks for talking to me about this. I really appreciate it. I will let you know about any developments, okay? Ricardo, are you there? You're not gonna believe this, but I finally heard back from Erin.
Oh, really? What did she say?
Well, apparently, my uncle and Pablo are away on a conference right now. And it was her only chance she had to talk to me.
But what did she tell you?
Well, between what I found out on my own and what Erin told me, things are pretty bad. But I think that I'm going to need your help. So maybe it would be better to talk about this in person? You aren't working today, right? Maybe I could bring Erin and the three of us could talk together. Could we all head over to your place?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Just let me know when you guys are at the front door and I'll let you in.
Hey, Ricardo, thanks again so much for today.
Don't thank me. I'm so sorry for what Pablo did. I can't believe he would go that far just to marry Erin the way he did. We need to move fast and try and save her as soon as we can.
I'm so happy you feel that way. Yes, we are going to do this.
Hey, Ricardo, do you have any idea where Mom is right now?
Oh, Pablo. I thought you said you never wanted to speak to me again.
Just shut up and tell me where Mom is right now.
Well, she's here with me, actually.
What? Why is she with you? What's going on here, huh?
You know, I've been paying for the majority of all three of our expenses for years now. So when I left the house, I knew there was no way that I could just leave Mom there with you. Especially when she makes so little for herself from her job.
What are you talking about? Sure, you may have helped me out a little when I was going to school, but I've never taken anything from you now that I'm a doctor.
Are you kidding me, right? You think I'm gonna take that from the guy who has never contributed more than around $200 a month to expenses?
What's wrong with that? That's plenty of money.
Do you realize that every month we have to pay about $850 to live at that house? $200 isn't nearly enough for anything.
What are you even talking about? What's your point?
I mean that at the end of the month, that house needs to be empty.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that we were renting that place under my name, but now that I'm gone, I've canceled the lease on the place. And Mom said that she wanted to come and live with me. If you want to move into a place with your new wife, you're gonna have to find one on your own.
Wait, just hold on for a second. I need to think.
Think about what?
Well, I think that Erin and I are going to get a divorce soon, and I think that I'm going to have to quit my job at the hospital.
Huh? Things are moving way faster than I expected.
What do you mean by that?
But I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less from my girl.
Ricardo, what are you talking about? What is this?
Did you know that one of the relatives of your mother-in-law has hired a private investigator to look into you?
Excuse me, what?
I said what I said. And you found out all about the hospital director's affair with that young nurse. Or should I say nurses, but so did you. And you used that information to try and blackmail your boss and force him to let you marry his daughter. But before you could do that, you also had to make sure that she broke up with her fiancé. The real man that she wanted to marry, who worked with her.
But I don't get... How did you find this out? Unless that girl you mentioned earlier. Are you calling her the detective? Her? You mean that you had a mole inside the family and were watching me this whole time? What's the matter with you? You're my brother.
I do not want to be called your brother anymore.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that yesterday, Erin's parents got a divorce because of your father-in-law's affairs.
Wait, they did?
That's right. All because we let a little info leak.
How could you do that? How could you ruin my plan?
Don't ask me, ask my girl. She's the one who said that she wanted to bring all of this to light and let the cards fall where they may. Even if that means letting you and your uncle fall in order to save her cousin. So now your father-in-law is going to step down as hospital director and soon your wife is going to leave you.
But where do you live right now?
What do you mean?
I mean that I'm out of a job and I might lose my license and I'm going to get divorced and you need to help me.
You got yourself into this mess. You get yourself out.
Please, I need you right now, bro. You can't just leave me hanging like this. I need your help right now.
Don't call me bro. You and I are not brother anymore.
Please, don't be like that.
I've had enough out of you. You're the one who wanted to shut me out of your life in the first place.
What do you mean? You know that I wasn't really serious about any of that, right?
I mean that I'm only giving you what you wanted from me. So we're not family anymore.
Ricardo, please.
After that, I heard that the reason Pablo was fired was because he was always showing up late. Always harassing the female nurses and would try to wave everything away by saying he was next in line to run things. After his divorce with Erin, she sued him for emotional distress and won. Pablo had very little in the ways of savings since he always enjoyed spending money, and with his reputation ruined, he left the state. About a year later, I heard from a college on a business trip that he thought he saw someone who might be my brother, but I didn't bother to look into it. Instead, Kathy, my mom, and I are all living happily together.